County Chamber of Commerce. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Whitley County Chamber of Commerce, I want to welcome you to today's State of the City address. It's great to see so many community leaders, business owners, elected officials, and residents gathered today. Events like this remind us of the strength of our city from the people who care deeply about its future. The Chamber is proud to work alongside our local government, businesses, nonprofits, and volunteers to help our community grow and thrive. Over the past year, we've seen incredible collaborations, from new businesses opening their doors to community events bringing thousands of people together, to continued investments in our downtown and neighborhoods. One of the things that make our community special in this partnership between the public and private sectors, when the city, local businesses, and community organizations work together, great things can happen. The Chamber is proud to support this collaboration every day. We would like to show our appreciation to Star Bank, who is our main sponsor for the day. If it wasn't for them, you would not be having this wonderful lunch. It'd be a snack. And also our sponsor, then Foodology, for our catering. Today is an opportunity to reflect on the progress we've made, recognize the people helping move our city forward, and look ahead for the opportunities that lie before us. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome a leader who is deeply committed to our community and its future. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Ryan Daniel for the State of City address. Thank you.
Oh, very kind. Very kind. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Hopefully you can hear me well. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you for attending today. City officials, business members, residents, and friends, thank you for attending this State of the City address. Columbia City has come a long way over the past 15 years, and we continue to work together to make our community better today than we were yesterday, and better tomorrow than we are today. From infrastructure investment and quality of life improvements to the challenges and concerns of the future, I'm confident that our community is well positioned for steady, focused growth long into the future. So let's get into it. Multiple infrastructure projects were completed in 2025, including the Jefferson and Main Street Force Main project and the Dice Store cover replacement. The Jefferson and Main Street Force Main project reroutes the flow of sewage from under the Mary Raber Playground to underneath streets and alleys, making these new lines more accessible and direct from lift station to lift station. The Dice Store cover is the bubble-looking cap that you can see right there on the city's digester tank, which processes solids in the wastewater treatment process, something you want to talk about while you're eating lunch. The cover has served dutifully past its life expectancy, so the former cover was removed, the digester was cleaned and lined, let me make sure my microphone's on, then a new cover was installed. The total of both projects added up to over $3 million of investment and are crucial to improving our wastewater infrastructure. For the water department, we replaced old drinking water pipes on North Park Drive, installed new chlorine pumps, and replaced the filter media at the water plant. Now, certainly, we have heard the concerns regarding discolored water coming out of the faucets. This can be caused by multiple factors, including the broken well that we rebuilt this past year, pressure changes within the pipes due to water main breaks, excessive iron in the water supply, or other projects within the water department. Now, as a reminder, we test our water daily. Every drop of drinking water that goes into the system starts underground in an aquifer full of minerals and sediment. Our wells pump that water into the water plant for cleaning, which processes out as many minerals as possible prior to distribution to homes and businesses across the city. Now, I want to stress that if residents are experiencing discolored water, they should probably call city utilities immediately rather than maybe first posting on social media. We want to partner with residents to figure out the problems that may be happening within our system. Now, interestingly, some, although not all of these discolored water issues are coming from the home plumbing, and not from the city's water system, based on our department's actual on-site responses to these calls. This slide, for instance, shows that the picture that was posted on social media on the left, or on, I guess, my right, versus what the actual water department pulled out of the meter. So obviously we want to work with our residents to try to make sure that we can figure out what the problems are. Now, while some minor water main replacement projects like Jeffrey Drive are on the schedule for 2026, the main project over the next decade will be the replacement of lead water lines throughout the city. This unfunded mandate by the state and federal government will replace lead service lines both from the water main to the meter, as well as from the meter to the home. We're thankful for the assistance from the GLOW team, GLO, which is Get the Lead Out, as they help us identify where these lead lines are and work on a plan to replace them in a cost-effective and expedient manner. Our electric department has worked diligently to upgrade our electric lines and move the most vulnerable lines underground for improved reliability and safety over many years. Kind of funny saying that this morning. In 2025, they replaced over 100 electric poles that tested bad, improved infrastructure in the rural areas of our territory, and accommodated the growth of business and residential areas in our city. Now this year, the electric crews will continue working on replacing bad poles, remove the former fuel pumps at the municipal services facility, and focus on additional reliability and safety improvements for all involved. In 2025, the street department paved 44 segments of streets across the city, equaling almost 7.5 miles of new asphalt. We also replaced 35 sidewalk ramps throughout the community. This $1.5 million investment into our infrastructure was made possible in part by the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program from the Indiana Department of Transportation. We'll be applying in the next few months to the same grant program for the third phase of the Westgate Reconstruction Project, which will focus on the final third of the Westgate subdivision. This project will rebuild the roads, add sidewalk and curbs while improving drainage. This third and final phase, added with the previous two phases, represents a $4.7 million investment in the Westgate subdivision over the past 6 years, with roughly 70% of those dollars coming from state grants. The street department also poured a new 400-foot walk path in Columbia Shores in 2025 and improved multiple sidewalks and ramps in the Eagle Glen subdivision. Now, while winter appears to maybe sort of be on its way out, we are already preparing for the 26-27 winter season. I'm excited to say that we'll be moving our trucks to spreading all salt rather than the salt sand mixtures of past years. While we'll still have some salt sand mixture for those really low temperature events or specifically for the alleys, we are going to be treating the vast majority of snows with just salt. Now, this change in process will eliminate a large amount of debris that ends up in the stormwater system and significantly improve the lifespan of those drains throughout the city. It'll also make sure that the remnants of winter storms that you and I have probably both seen, sand and debris on sidewalks, will be significantly lower than in past years. In 2025, the Parks Department reorganized the staffing structure, refocusing on our commitment to not just sports, but the totality of recreation for our citizens. This change allows our department to accommodate the broader need of entertainment and exercise across all demographics of our community. While the parks of yesteryear focused primarily on youth sports, we have actively worked to widen how our community sees the Parks and Recreation Department, providing animal enrichment programs, adding a new and highly used skate park in 2025, as well as a family swing set and new pickleball courts, are just a few ways in which we can engage a wider audience in our park system. The design for a new amphitheater at Eagle Park is well underway, with construction to hopefully begin by year's end. With a multi-use concept, plenty of green space, and in-ground seating, the facility will truly set Columbia City apart from other communities in northern Indiana. Our target date for the first performance at this fantastic venue is August of 2027. Right, Chip?
Yes.
Okay. We also inherited the former FOP Boy Scout Lodge at Every Kid's Dreamland, The maintenance crew will be working on some minor improvements to the facility, including adding public restrooms, replacing the bathroom trailers that have stood for almost a decade, and providing a better space to accommodate parties and events. This upgrade will allow for more usage of our parks areas and enhance the programs we can provide to the public. We also opened the new segment of the Blue River Trail, which connects the Columbia City High School, Indian Springs, and Little Turtle School campus to the community via a walking and bike path. This project has tremendously improved the safety of students who walk to and from campus each day, as well as the numerous athletic teams who utilize the path for training. It also provides a safe pathway for residents of all ages to access the performing arts and athletics that are held at our schools. I also want to mention the construction of a new dog park at Morses Park. For many years, residents have yearned for a place to let their dogs run wild and free. So this year, we'll be opening a new dog park for residents and their furry pals. Now, I want to caution you, however, that a dog park is not a free-for-all kind of scenario, but rather a strictly regulated area that ensures all pets and owners have a safe and enjoyable environment. There will be some sort of permit fee to enter, and the owners will have to agree to a code of conduct. However, we're excited about the opening of this facility, which is expected to be later this year. Now, whether individuals own one dog or maybe 6, 7 dogs, Aria, that one's for you. We believe this amenity will be a welcome addition for many of our pooch-loving residents. In community development, there we go. Community development, we saw multiple new businesses and restaurants choose to open in Columbia City. Multiple other businesses expanded in 2025 to provide a wider array of services to our community. While small business is certainly tough in these days of online retailers and Amazon, we still have courageous entrepreneurs that are investing in our community, some that are in this room. We appreciate both the new and the long-lasting businesses of our community who are the building blocks on which our city flourishes. Multiple new housing developments are currently in the works for 2026 and beyond, balancing growth while keeping our small town values. 2025, however, was not necessarily a banner year for growing our housing stock. From the lack of available land to the skyrocketing price of building materials, numerous issues continue to create a housing crunch in our community. Only 20 single-family housing permits were issued in 2025, compared to the average over the past 5 years being over 33 homes per year. I'm hopeful that the additional housing stock and development, both single-family and multifamily, will create additional opportunities for current and future residents as we build a future together. Other projects that are moving forward include finally starting up the test kitchen, creating Adora, which is a downtown outdoor refreshment area, finishing the update to our comprehensive plan, and working through the redevelopment of multiple properties throughout the city. Now, on this note, I want to say a quick word about the former Whitley County Jail. When we were given the jail by the county commissioners, we had a big, bold vision on how we could redevelop that space to be an important cornerstone for our downtown. Unfortunately, due to a very high price tag and property tax cuts made by the state legislature, we had to abandon this project and seek a different path for the facility. Now, please know, however, that the city's full intent is to find a partner who can transform this facility into something that contributes to our downtown and adds value to our residents. This will not be a property that goes to the highest bidder, but rather will be the selection of someone who believes in, cares about, and wants to add to Columbia City's core. Now, as we think about our downtown area, we look ahead to a transformational project that will occur in the next few years. We're currently in the preliminary stages of planning for a downtown revitalization construction project that will target the first 2 blocks of West Van Buren and the north and south 100 blocks of Chauncey Street. This project will include a refresh of our downtown core with above ground and underground infrastructure being the primary focus, yet enhancements of lighting and design elements will certainly be included. We're working on grant opportunities to lessen the cost of this project and hope to see it come to fruition in 2028. Since we're on the topic of downtown, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the recent huge accomplishment by Columbia City Connect, who are now a nationally recognized Main Street organization. Now, this is a huge deal, as they are just one of, I think, 21 Indiana communities with this recognition and around 800 communities across the nation. I'm so proud of Columbia City Connect's efforts to not only receive this national recognition, but also their focus on continuing to grow and enhance our downtown area. In the public safety sector, the fire department has ordered a new fire engine, and we are currently preparing for its anticipated arrival this summer. Maybe? Tom, you think this summer? Okay, hopefully. Okay. This $1.2 million piece of equipment replaces a 20-year-old engine, which is crucial to the safety of residents inside and outside our city. As with all things, this engine's price tag is exceedingly high, basically costing double the price of the one we purchased in 2015. Double. This is just another example of the price increases we've experienced as a city since COVID. We also added a new position to the fire department by welcoming Captain Toby Freilich over here to his new role as Deputy Fire Chief. Now, this is important as we hit our highest run total in recorded history last year at 873 runs. Now, keep in mind, these runs aren't only fire, okay? They're also medical, fluid leaks, odor reports, and assisting other agencies. In 2026, we'll be upgrading our radios to provide better interoperability among our public safety departments, not only in Whitley County, but across the state. The CCPD replaced all in-car computers, replaced multiple rifles, and changed shift schedules in 2025 in order to provide better coverage for residents. In total, our officers provided service to over 14,000 calls last year. We also provided a handful of public safety courses for residents and businesses, updated malfunctioning tornado sirens that you probably all got to hear earlier this week. Was it this week? Yeah, it was this week, yeah. Received multiple grants focusing on reducing drunk driving and seatbelt violations, updated internal equipment, and started the Code Enforcement Coordinator position. Now, the CEC, in short, focuses on proactive and reactive enforcement of ordinance violations as a way to ensure our community is not only safe, but also clean and maintained. For many years, the city has struggled with how best to enforce ordinances like unkept properties or unsafe porches and, of course, the storage of junk vehicles. By providing a code enforcement coordinator, the city can come alongside the property owner to clean up the property while acknowledging the needs and challenges of that individual. So on this note, the CEC will be working to update our minimum housing standard ordinance with the Planning and Building Department this year. Now, this ordinance has been in place without updates since 1965. Woefully out of date, right? Yeah. I look forward to seeing a new ordinance that incorporates the new building codes and ensures a safe, sanitary, and secure living environment for all. In 2026, the police department will work on additional public safety classes and engagements, review potential expansion opportunities, and work to update all department policies. Dispatch, meanwhile, will work to implement fire response plans into their system, update some minor areas of the dispatch center, and work toward enhancing the capabilities and capacity of our dispatchers to improve responsiveness to citizens. For our information technology department, we set up many new cameras throughout the city to monitor city properties, replace hardware and software, and extended the city's free public Wi-Fi network to Eagle Park. This now means that downtown, Morshes Park, the Aquatic Center, Every Kid's Dreamland, and Eagle Park now provide free Wi-Fi to the public. Over the next year, we'll continue to modernize our network, increase reliability, and enhance our city website to make it easier to navigate for all residents and visitors. This year, we mark the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. The start of this semi-quincentennial celebration took place on June 14th of 2025 and will run into and past July 4th of this year. Many different events will take place as our city celebrates the birth of our nation. Yet, none will match the historical nature of the opening of the time capsule that has sat in front of City Hall for the past 49 years, 8 months, and 9 days. Now, to put this into perspective, the time capsule has been in front of City Hall for approximately 435,600 hours, 18,150 days, or 596 months, depending on how you want to count it. That's, of course, a long time. We'll celebrate the semi-quincentennial by opening this 50-year-old time capsule and closing a new time capsule on July 4th, 2026 on the courthouse lawn. I hope you'll join us for this historic occasion. A couple of the notable projects for 2026 include updating the pole-hanging Christmas lights on Main Street, INDOT replacing the bridge decks on US 30 at Morses Park. I'm sure that'll be fun for everybody. And the creation of a historic district in our downtown. We've been able to do all of this while continuing to decrease our tax rate, which is now down to the lowest city property tax rate since 2008. In fact, our property tax rate for the city is in the bottom 25% of all city property tax rates in the state of Indiana. Now, last year I mentioned that Senate Rolled Act 1, the Property and Income Tax Reform Bill, was going to create issues down the road for our residents. Thankfully, the legislature started taking steps this year to shrink the impact on local communities. And while we have a long way to go to ensure we can provide city services that our public demands, I'm grateful to our legislators for hearing our concerns and making some improvements. I'm hopeful that even more improvements will be made in the legislative session next year. Now, this year, I have had the honor of serving as the AIM, which stands for Accelerating Indiana Municipalities. So I've had the honor of serving as AIM president, which is an organization that serves all cities and towns across Indiana. I've had a front row seat to the workings of the State House this legislative session, and I've advocated on your behalf, not just to our local legislators, but to legislators across the state. While there's always a large batch of bad bills that take away your voice and give special treatment to specific industries, this year seemed to kind of be full of those kind of bills. But thankfully, we were able to effectively kill a lot of those bad bills while advocating for good public policy. Now, as AIM president, I've gotten to interact with many communities across the state, both big and small. I've heard their challenges and victories. I've toured their communities. I've seen their growth or decline. Yet I'm always happy to come home. These trips outside our community have bolstered my outlook for our city. Where some communities are waiting for a miracle, we are proactively recruiting new housing development and commercial properties. While other cities rest on their laurels, we are actively planning and anticipating the future. It's clear to me that Columbia City is unique and special, not because of what we do, but because of who we are. With all that being said, it's no wonder that our community continues to punch above its proverbial weight class for population growth, for safety, and for quality of life. For these reasons, the state of our city is advancing. We're advancing the goals and ideals of our community while keeping a keen eye on maintaining the small town feeling and personal connectivity. We're advancing our city into the future by investing where it matters most, the lives of our residents. From the expansion of utilities to the construction of unique amenities, Columbia City is a leader in Northeast Indiana. Few months go by without a fellow mayor or council member or commissioner reaching out to me from another community asking how we did something or how they could maybe replicate our progress. Now, please don't see this as being about me, but rather that our collective focus and shared responsibility has made our community what it is today. We're advancing the lives of our people, the businesses that invigorate our city, and the organizations that ensure that no one gets left behind. I'm thankful for all that you've done individually and collectively to help advance our community, and I'm confident that with focused leadership, stable partnerships, and a collective motivation, our community will remain on a path to greatness long into the future. And now, for my special announcement. Over the past 14 years, I've had the honor and privilege to serve as mayor of my hometown. I've got to experience the highs of opening new parks and the aquatic center, trails, subdivisions, restaurants, businesses, and so much else. I've also been in the low places, standing beside residents at house fires and medical diagnoses and community tragedies and certainly funerals. Through these highs and lows, one thing has remained true: my love for our community. I relate this job to being like adopting and raising a child. You receive this being from someone else. You put your all into caring for the child and raising it as you see best. You pour your whole self into it while taking the bumps and bruises that come with the responsibility. And then when you and it are ready, you let it spread its wings and fly, hoping you've equipped it to be the best it can be. Well, friends, I believe that time has come. In what may be possibly the worst kept secret in Columbia City history, I'm announcing today that I'm not seeking re-election to the office of mayor in the upcoming 2027 election. Now, growing up, I loved playing the SimCity game. Any SimCity players out there? I'd make sure utilities were spread out to serve our customers, position public safety in the best spots, place parks and green spaces throughout the city, and certainly make sure industrial and residential zones aren't next to each other so as not to enrage the populace. Little did I know that this would be a small glimpse into the future. Then in 2011, this community took a chance on me, a young 27-year-old kid who had hopes and dreams for the community he loved. You let me work with you to build a community that continues to grow and thrive, just like that SimCity game I enjoyed so many years ago. I haven't always gotten it right, but I can promise that I've given this community all I had. So, as you would imagine, I have a few people to thank, although think also. First, I'm thankful to the God who provides for his people, the rock on which I've leaned on many, many times, and the one constant in this ever-changing world. He's blessed me richly, and I can never thank him enough. To our citizens, for the leash you gave me, especially in those first few years, to make dreams into reality, I'm thankful. We've accomplished much together because you believe that tomorrow can be better than today. To our staff, our partners, and department heads, you are where the rubber meets the road. Elected officials can have dreams and plans, but without your thoughtful leadership and hands-on work that you provide our community, none of it would be possible. I'm proud to be a part of your team. To Ashley and Teresa and Samara and Martha, my current and past executive secretaries, I literally couldn't do this job without you. You've kept my work life in balance and managed the office when I didn't have the capacity to do so. I'm forever grateful for your partnership and collaboration. Got through this like 15 times without crying, and I'm really struggling here. Okay. To our past and current clerk treasurers, as well as all 12 past and current city council members and 4 Board of Works members, you've all played a critical role in the direction and planning for our city. Without your leadership, partnership, and trust, I would have floundered in this role. I'm blessed to count you as friends and partners in our progress. To our family and friends, thank you for your overwhelming support, from walking neighborhoods to being available to step in the gap for us. You've lifted us up in prayer, offered words of encouragement, and provided the right guidance at the right time. This one's the hard one. Most importantly, to Amanda and Aria. The sacrifices you've made throughout my time in office have been immense. No one truly knows what you gave up in order for me to live out my dream job. From late night meetings and work travel to community events and playing second fiddle to the title, I couldn't be more thankful to have you by my side. You are truly the best first lady and first daughter that a guy could ever have. I choose you every day, twice on Sunday. Thanks for saving me. I appreciate that. There'll be much more to be said between now and the end of my term on December 31st of 2027. However, I want you to know that between now and then, you'll continue to see me and the team put all our effort into following our city tagline of building a future together. We won't be resting or sliding into home from second base. No, we'll do what we've done since January 1st of 2012. We'll put all of our effort into making Columbia City a safe, welcoming, enjoyable place to live. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven." Thank you for allowing me to lead our community through this season. Sounds about right. Thank you. So, I got a little bit of the birds in there for, here you go. Okay, there you go. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you coming, and thanks for listening to me today. So thanks, everybody.